Candlestick number 5, the shooting star. This is my favorite one. The visual characteristics of the shooting star are: it has a small body, so the rectangle is compressed, where the body is near the bottom of the candlestick. So not near the middle and not near the top. It's near the bottom of the candlestick. It has a long upper wick, being much longer than the body itself, and usually it has a very short lower wick. The key to remember this shooting star candlestick is that it sits at the top of the hill. Imagine a hill and that the shooting star is at the top of the hill. For me, this didn't make a lot of sense. For me, what made more sense was to envision a Christmas tree. And the reason why this worked for me is because the price is following the shape of the Christmas tree, and exactly where the price goes from rising to falling, that's where the shooting star lies. The most important thing to remember is that the price has to shift from going upwards to going downwards, and at the top of that shift, that's where the candlestick sits. That's where you have to envision a star. Now, the key story for this candlestick lies in the upper wick. So let's take a look at what the upper wick tells us. We know that somewhere during the the buyers pushed the price up, so there was bullish sentiment. And we know this happened because there is an upper wick, and the upper wick is telling us that at some point the price was at this high level. But then the seller stepped in, erasing almost all of the upward move. So there was a bearish sentiment, and this is what created the upper wick, going from bullish sentiment to bearish sentiment. So we know that the buyers failed to sustain those higher prices. So there was a strong sentiment from bullish to bearish, where the final sentiment is bearish, and this is the key part of the story. The final sentiment is bearish. So what does the sentiment switch looks like when I say that we went from bullish to bearish? This is the candlestick that we're looking at. This is a shooting star, and we're going to focus on the formation of the upper wick. We know that to create the upper wick, the buyers had to step in, where the buyers were stronger than the sellers, therefore the buyers pushed the price up. But we also know that the price was not sustained at those higher levels, which means that then the sellers stepped in because the sellers became stronger than the buyers, slamming the price back down. Overall, it is the buyers that failed to keep control at those higher prices. And because the buyers failed, what do you think this is a sign of? Is this a sign of strength, or is it a sign of weakness if the buyers failed? Because the buyers failed, this is a sign of weakness. So even though the candle is green, it's a sign of weakness. So instead of prioritizing the color of the candlestick, prioritize reading the wick itself. And what this candlestick means when it comes to what is likely to happen with the price is that the chances are there that the price is going to continue going down. And how likely it is to happen, it depends on the next candlestick, but it also depends on how deep the upper wick is. The longer the upper wick, the more the seller stepped in, the higher the sign of weakness, the higher the likelihood of the price continue going down. This is a game of probability, guys. There's no certainty in trading.